Okay, what's up, guys? My name is TMossBoss, and I wanted to let you guys know about Anchor. Anchor is an app that you can download to record your podcast in the easiest way ever. Like, it doesn't require a whole lot to know. Like, you just pretty much press record and you just start doing your podcast and stuff. I don't know what you plan on doing, but you plan on doing something. That's why you're here. So, yeah, download Anchor, or you could go to their website, anchor.fm, and yeah, you could do it straight from your computer too. So yeah, it's easy. They distribute everything to they distribute your podcast to every streaming services like out there, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. Okay, and then you can monetize it, so you're making money off of what you love doing. All right, so people, make sure you do it. Make sure you download Anchor, or you go to their website, anchor.fm. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for listening. Peace. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. I don't even know if this will be considered. See, because the thing is, I want to title it, like based off of my like sneaker channel, but I don't even know if I should or not, because this is just something that I just start thinking. I think I am. So if I don't think I have promoted my sneaker channel. If I did, then this is gonna probably be episode 2. But any of like me promoting my sneaker channel. But I'm on Anchor right now. I'm going through all my episodes. Nothing involved with that channel. So this actually might be the first episode. Sneakers coming soon. That was when I was promoting my shoes. Yeah, I'm not seeing things. So anyways, so for those that I think I didn't. No, I don't think I did because I'm like, cause yeah, I was like, I don't remember doing it. So, but anyways, for those that don't know, I'm a fan of shoes. If you guys hadn't watched any of my recent videos on my main channel, then what have you guys been doing? Like, that's what I'm like, nah, like if you've had to notice like my wall of shoes in the background of my videos and stuff. So yeah, I'm a sneakerhead and proud of it. I love sneakers. I just recently bought me some Paul George 4s, and they're comfortable. One thing that I will say about the Paul George 4s is definitely go up like either half a size, but if you can go one size up, then do that. But yeah, they I got some. I tried on some ones that was like a 10. And I know I already had knew like you're supposed to go a size up, but I'm like, let me just see how it feels like wearing a size 10, because everybody's feet is different. So tried it on, couldn't fit it. Tried on a 10 and a half, and I'm wearing the 10 and a halves right now, and I feel like the more you wear them, then it's like they're not as tight feeling. But when I had very first put them on, I'm like, yo, do you have a size 11? Because I think I'm gonna have to go up a whole size, not half a size. But no, half a size. It's cool. It's just if you're expecting a shoe with some space in it, yeah, 10 and a half. It's probably gonna have to go up maybe to a size 11. The guy was all like, I think he said like the next size they had was like a 12, and I'm like, nah, bro, that's too much. That's too much. That probably would fit, but I'm like, nah, that's too much. But the reason why they do that is because the shoes they go and like they zip up, so you can, like, if you want to, you could take the shoelaces out and you could just zip the shoes up and things, and they're still like I think they would still be stable, but I'm keeping the shoelaces in. But anyways, no, I like the colorway to it. It's this like orange and black like camo print, and then it's like the bottom, the midsole of it. It's like this like cushioning. They say it's an air unit, but I'm like, nah, fam. This has to be like some like React cushioning. Like it feels like some like really like hard React cushioning. I don't know. Maybe it could be an air unit, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I've tried on some like it, because I'm like, it's just too cushioning. It don't feel like an air shoe, so it doesn't feel like it's an air unit. It feels like a React unit. But anyways, probably I would give these shoes, because I'll probably get, well, I like this colorway, so because of the colorway, I'll probably give it like a 8 out of 10 and things. But if it had been like the OG colorway that came out, the black and white ones, I probably would have given this like a 6 or a 7 out of 10, just based off of the fact that you gotta go a whole size up just to make the shoes fit. And I'm like, bruh, that's the second pair of shoes that I've tried on where it's like I had to go a whole size up, because the Yeezy 350s, when I there's this so how I acquired those shoes. So there's this sneaker store in the South Center Mall for those that live in Washington State, and they sold like Yeezys, like rare Jordans. I'm mad because like that store, it ain't even up no more because of COVID. Like they just took that store down. I'm like, bruh, I really wanted to go in there and get, there's these NYC, the Paris Jordans that they had, and pretty much what those shoes are, you can take some sandpaper and there's like a different paint underneath. So what I wanted to do was just like kind of just take the sandpaper and just go all crazy on the shoe, and then like have it where it's like parts of the upper, like where the second layer of paint is showing and the first layer of paint. But freaking couldn't do that because the COVID hit and then just closed all these different stores down. I'm like, bro, if I hope they like reopen. I just wish things would get back to normal. I was like, bro, just like talking outside of like shoes, like my mask today, I was struggling with my mask all day today, and I'm like, man, I'm telling you, I'll be so happy when this stuff is done and over with. But anyways, so no, back on shoes. So I got the Yeezy 350s from this store. And I tried on the size 10, and I'm so glad because prior before that, when I was in Disneyland, they had one of those like sneaker machines, like where you put like $1 in, and then it's like you have to like make sure, I'm gonna say this in the most inappropriate way whatsoever, but you have to make sure this thing goes into this hole, and then make sure like it fits and all that stuff, and then it has to like slide the shoe out. And so it honestly, it sounds like I'm describing like pregnancy or birth, like, but with like sneakers or something. That's honestly what I'm gonna do. I'm like, it's when two Jordans fall in love. Like I'm telling you, whoever, like when my kids get born and stuff, like like, and I'm having to explain that to them, like where the babies come from. I'm like, well, see, son, this is how it works. So two sneakers will fall. No, I ain't gonna do that to my kid. I ain't gonna. Then he goes to school and repeats that. Then the teacher's calling me up talking about, did you really tell your son that about childbirth, like it involves shoes? I'm like, I'm a sneakerhead, I can't help it. But I think I'm gonna just be straightforward to it. I'm like, man and woman loves each other, they end up having sex. About 9 months later, a baby comes into the world. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but eventually, yeah, But anyways, back on shoes. All right, back on shoes. I need to stop getting distracted. But no, so I tried on a 10, couldn't fit. 10 and a half, couldn't fit either. An 11, still tight. But I was like, you know what? I ain't asked these guys for like multiple. I start feeling like I'm asking for too much when I didn't ask for like, because my thing is like, I don't know. So that's why I'm like trying to try it on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go with this 11. And the more I wore it, then it like, it broke in and stuff. And so it's like comfortable. But also that was another thing, was that there is a little bit too much space in the back of my shoe and stuff. So I'm like, I didn't want it to feel like it was like a flip flop or something when wearing these shoes. So that's why I was like, you know what? Nah, let me just stick with these 11s, and yeah, then I'll overall just be cool with that. But I'm telling you, man, I'm like, when you always make sure, always like, that's why I'm like, I was like very cautious about ordering shoes online. That's why I made sure I ordered shoes I had already knew about, or I had at least like watched some videos, because there's this one guy, shout out to Wear Testers. But when I would order shoes, it was usually shoes that he would review. So that's why I'm like, oh, okay, if he says it's like true to size, or you might want to go down a size or go a size up, then I'm like, cool, he knows. And so I'm like, let me just go ahead and do that and things. But there are some shoes where I had to either go like, no, it was these Air Jordan 3s, and I remember I tried on a 9.5 of those, and they actually fit fine. Like, they wasn't like too tight on feet and things. And the only reason why is because they have a size 10. I most likely would have gotten a size 10. I did get a size 10 of some Air Jordan 3s afterwards during like COVID and stuff. And I was just like, that's weird. How I can fit a 9.5 and a 10? I'm like, that's some weird stuff. Like, all right, well, I guess that's my size area, 9.5. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. There's some Jordans where I'm like, nah, I couldn't wear a 9.5 in them. So if you guys watch my friends Four Souls, so Zach, all right, so just kind of giving y'all a little backstory on how he acquired these shoes for me. So Priscilla from Four Souls had was like she had brought, I can't remember how that conversation came about, of her cousins needing shoes, but me being a sneaker wizard, like I literally had like my own library of shoes. I'm like, there's multiple pairs of shoes that I'm not wearing, so do they need these shoes and things? And she was just all like, "Oh yeah, but I don't like, like that. But that's like your shoes. Like it's usually you get like some like high end shoes." I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's like it's cool. It's Gucci. I'm not like I don't care. I'm like it's shoes I'm not wearing anymore. So I'm like, nah, I don't need them. They can have them." And so I gave her two cousins like a bunch of shoes. Like it was like 9 pairs. Originally gonna be 20 pairs, but there are some that they couldn't fit, so that I just gave them 9, and they were cool with that. But then there was these one reflective Air Jordan 1s that came out not too long ago, and her brother liked them, and so I'm like, you know what? Yeah, cool. He can have those, and I would have kept them if they were a size 10. But the problem was they were a 9.5. Could not fit a 9.5. Could not fit those shoes at all. I was like, bruh, I don't understand. Like, why are these shoes? Like, I remember I wore them outside one time, and I'm like, no more. I'm done. I'm like, I can't wear these shoes no more. And because my feet, they were jacked up. I was like, that's the second time. That's happened to me multiple times. That's not the second time. But there are some, I remember there are some Air Forces that I still have till this day. There's these all black. Yes, I was on the black Air Force activities back when I was in high school. But I bought these, while my parents had got me these Air Forces for school. And I can't remember if they were a 9 or what size they were. But anyways, I remember I was wearing them, and then me and my friend, we were just like, because we decided it was like first day of school. We didn't really need to be there because it was more so like freshman day. So we were just out walking around, went to his house. I remember playing, it was one of the Skyrim, what was that Skyrim game? It was like Oblivion, I think, something like that. Oblivion. Yeah, there we go. The Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. So yeah, I remember I ended up playing that. Didn't really know what I was doing with that game, so I stopped. And I think we went around for a walk. But them shoes, oh my goodness, them black Air Force Ones, my ankles was jacked up. And so fast forward, years later, I'm working downtown, came across these Airmore Up-Tempos. It was those black reflective Airmore Up-Tempos. It's something about like all black shoes where I'm like, there's like some all black shoes that I've had where they wasn't damaging and stuff, but I'm telling you, it was them all black Air Force Ones and them all black Airmore Up-Tempos had jacked my ankles up. And the Airmore Up-Tempos, that's the crazy thing about it. I know people would be like, what, did you get the wrong size? No. With those Air Forces, they fit true to size for me at the time. And then with them Airmore Up-Tempos, I have to try them on again, but I don't remember them feeling too tight on my feet. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand why these shoes are jacking up my ankles. But yeah, I was like, bro, I couldn't wear those shoes like on a regular basis. So I think I wore them outside maybe a couple of times. One day I think I wore them just to really like break them in and stuff. But I'm like, bruh, I cannot wear these shoes. I'm like, nah. I'm like, so I remember I was trying to give away those shoes too, but that had been kind of messed up, giving somebody some shoes that's gonna hurt their ankles and things. But I'm like, I don't want them. I'm like, I don't want to resell them because I ain't trying to like resell them. I ain't trying to like have somebody give me $300 and something because them shoes is actually reselling for a lot. Let me go and check up on StockX real quick because them shoes, I was surprised that them shoes was reselling for that much. I'm like, bruh, I caught me a deal because I think I only paid like $180 for them, and yeah, they're like going. It was like so it was 180 retail. Hold on for a second. Let me find them on StockX. And it was funny because I remember they released some other pairs, and I was like, I almost got them, but I'm like, nah. Let me hold off on these. Oh, they're only going for $290 in my size. Oh, they came down. Oh, well, in some of the sizes, for a size 9, $400. For 11.5, $400. And they were $160. So, yeah, it's been a while since I bought those shoes, so I couldn't really remember the price of them. But they also had like they had like two different types, like, and I can't remember. I think so. There is these ones. There's just 285. That's weird. That's so weird how they have like, cause black reflective, and I think those are the same ones. What's the difference between them? That's I'm like, I'm so confused on that. Yeah, it's the same ones, but anyways, yeah, tried those shoes. I'm like, bruh, can't wear those, man. I can't. I'm like, I can't do it. This too much. But yeah, that's why I'm like, if you can like wear the shoes. That's why I'm like, that's one thing that I do like about when you order shoes from Nike is that you can like keep them for a little bit and then turn them back in. But I'm like, don't wear them outside. Don't be that person where it's like, oh, let me wear these shoes all up and down the streets and stuff, dirty them all up, and then give them back. Because I remember what shoes. So I remember I had got these like winter Gore-Tex. It was these Gore-Tex Air Force Ones, and the person. So the person was like, so I had got some black ones. And I didn't like them because I'm like, because of the Black Air Force activity and stuff. So it was like, that was just a little bit too much black for me. I'm like, maybe I should have like switched out the shoelaces or something. Then it probably wouldn't have been as bad. But anyways, so I got them, didn't like them, was seeing if I can like turn them back in and stuff. So I kind of got scared because I'm like, bruh, like if I can't turn these, I probably would have eventually had to go get some shoelaces or something and switch them out because I'm like, nah, I can't wear me some all black Air Forces. I'm like, just because all the memes that's surrounding them shoes right now, I'm like, can't be me. So anyways, so I went up there, and that's what they told me. They was just like, oh yeah, you could have worn them, dirtied them all up. And I'm like, that I don't do that. Don't put that type of activity in my life. Now that is some actual legitimate Black Air Force activity. I'm like, I will never ever, if I order, and that goes out to any sneaker store or sneaker worker, whether you work at Foot Locker, Champs, Nike store, Adidas store. I don't care where you work, what your policies are, or what. I will never ever wear some shoes, dirty them all up, and then give them back to you guys. Another place that's like that is Nordstrom's. Now, Nordstrom's, their policies is that it can be any of their stuff. Nike, they had it where it was like some of their things was tradable, but not everything's. So if it probably was some, like maybe some high-end Jordans, like some like rare Jordans that came out, probably couldn't trade those back in and be like, oh, can I get a different color? Since there isn't no other color of these shoes. Like, these are the only colors that's being released right now. So, but Nordstrom's, it can literally be any shoe. And I remember I asked the guy, like, yo, is that, like, still a thing? I wasn't, like, more so asking them to see if I can, like, give him some shoes back. Because I'm like, nah, there are some New Balances that I bought. And I'm like, I don't really wear those New Balances. But and I got them from Nordstrom's, but I'm like, I'm not gonna give them shoes back. I was like, I will find a reason to wear those shoes before I give those shoes back. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that to them and things, or do that to them, because I guess it like ruins it messes them up some. I can't remember if it has something to do with commission or what, but yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not, because I used to work it for this cafe in Seattle, but it was like tied in with Nordstrom's and Nordstrom employees. I remember this one woman, she told me that they will always do that around the holidays. Like, there's all this stuff that they want to give back and things. I'm like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all buy something just to give it back like a few months later because, oh, I want, there's some other stuff that then came out. I'm like, man, that's messed up. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that. Nah, it couldn't be me. So that's why I'm like, nah, whatever I buy, I'm keeping it. Unless it's like a video game, unless it's like something that is easy to trade back in. Video games, I don't really care for. I'm like, I don't know how many times I ain't traded in some video games. I just traded in some video games not too long ago. But shoes or clothes, like stuff that you're wearing, nah. I'm like, my scent is all in them clothes and shoes. And it's like, then on top, it's not like with some game. I'm like, if I, like, you can't dirty up a game. Like, yeah, I guess you can scratch the disc, but I'm like, last time I think I scratched the game disc, I was like a kid. And that was years and years and years ago. So I'm like, with games, I'm more cautious and more careful with games, but with clothes, I'm like, there's dirt, spit, poop, pee, all this stuff that you done stepped in with some. I mean, I don't be going out my way and stepping in like poop and pee and stuff. But I'm still like downtown Seattle, like people are just nasty out there. I don't know how many times I ain't seen somebody. There's this one guy, he straight up peed on himself in downtown Seattle. He was just on the sidewalk just peeing. And there's this one lady. I remember I was on the bus. She was in a squatting position, peeing on the sidewalk. And I'm like, bruh, my thing is that people be walking up and down that sidewalk and stuff. That's what I'm like, I'm glad like I never had to walk on that sidewalk. I always caught the bus to go beyond that sidewalk. Plus my bus stop wasn't even in that area. It was like blocks and blocks down the road and stuff. So I ain't have to worry about walking on that street. But my thing is I'm saying like the spirit of that stuff is still on that sidewalk. So me stepping into it, okay, people then food, all this stuff, the spirit of that stuff in my head, it's still there. The spirit of it is still there. So therefore I'm like I cannot give these shoes back. I can't give the shoes, clothes, none of that. Clothes, I'm like, you don't really have to worry about it getting as dirty as like the bottom of a shoe. But I'm like, nah, man, that couldn't be me. That couldn't be me. I couldn't do that to a person. So Nordstrom's, Nike, Adidas, Foot Locker, Champs, any shoe store out there, that reselling store that was in South Center. Wherever you guys, hopefully y'all just relocated somewhere. But anyways, you guys will never ever have to worry. I wonder if they did. I might have to check that out and see things. But anyways, yeah, you'll never have to worry about me giving y'all something that I've already worn back. So anyways, but yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. I remember I just got like so off topic of it, but I did make it like last like longer than the episodes, like marking things. But no, what I wanted to talk about though was the difference between Off-White like their shoes and the shoes that they just pretty much slap their names on and stuff. So for an example, there's these Off-White Air Jordan 1s, and them shoes be like running for like thousands of dollars and stuff. And the reason why is because there's only a limited pair made, and then it's by this high-end brand named Off-White. So yeah, if you guys do go into like some high-end fashion store, you might end up seeing Off-White in there. Nordstrom's, I know Nordstrom's, they carry Off-White like shoes, maybe clothing, I don't know. But I remember when I did go into Nordstrom's, I would see like some like Off-White shoes in there. So they came out with some Off-White Jordans, like in a bunch of different like color. I think it was like red, blue. I think there's another colorway, but I think the main ones was like red and blue. I don't think they came out with any. Hold on, let me check StockX again real quick, because I don't think they did. But hold on, brands: Air Jordan, Jordan Off-White, apply, see results. So there's the blue ones, the white. Well, they did come out with like other pairs, like the Air Jordan 5s, Air Jordan 4s. Oh, so they did come out with a white pair. Yeah, so I think those. So it's red, white, and blue. And them are like, cause those is like the OG Off-White Jordans that came out. Plus, within the Jordan brand, the Air Jordan 1s are the first pair of Jordans to ever come out. So, anyways. Off-White, they just pretty much like changed the shoe up a little bit, slapped their name on it, and then after that, they were like selling for like, let me see the price. So the price for the red ones would be $4,250 and a size 8.5. If I wanted to get them for me, it's just a little bit much. $4,600, and those are for the red ones. For the blue ones, they might be a little bit cheaper, so $1,900. Okay, I might have a chance. And then with the white ones, they cost $4,075. Okay, so that's I'm like so the red ones are more expensive, blue ones. So I have a chance with those blue ones. Okay, cool. I'm like, when the time does come, I'm like, okay, I know which ones to go for. I know which ones are the cheapest. But anyways, so yeah, they and then the thing is though, so I know people are like, well, why they cost so much? Because of the Off-White name. You can literally go onto the Air Jordan, or not Air. Well, yeah, I think you can buy. I think Air Jordan. There's a website, airjordan.com. Okay, here we go. Can you buy shoes off of the website, or is it just? I don't think you can. Culture product. I'm curious. I'm like, I've never went onto the Air Jordan website before, so that's what I'm like. I don't. That's that's a weird way of doing things. I don't even know how to buy shoes off the website, so we ain't even gonna fool around with that. But anyways, but no, they're them same Air Jordan ones. You can get like a pair of them. There's like other pairs that exist in the world that you can literally get for like $200 or less than that. Because there's these, there's like, so I have like three different types of the Air Jordan 1s. And those are like the only ones that really exist. But they got the Air Jordan 1 lows, the Air Jordan 1 mids, and the Air Jordan 1 retro high tops. And the retro high tops are like the ones that like Jordan actually played in. I think they were saying that he played in some mids too, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure. Like, I wasn't there when he was playing basketball and stuff. I mean, I was, but I wasn't even really into sports and things at that time. Plus, I think at the time when he was playing basketball, which, yeah, like, I wasn't born in the 80s. 96, I didn't know who anybody was because I was just born into the world and stuff. So literally the only people that I knew was my family. And anybody else that exists, I'm like, who are you? But anyways, those are the three Jordans. And so with the low tops, I remember I had got those for like $90. For the mid tops, they're like 110, 115, 120 and things is like the price range. And then with the retro high tops, like probably 175 to like 220, and 220 it depends on like which Jordan it is. So if it's like the ones that he actually, like the colorway that he actually played in when he played for the Chicago Bulls, then those will probably be the 220s. But let's say if there's these black and green ones that I bought that he never played in, those are like, I think those was like maybe 170 something. Let me see real quick. Jordan, where are them green Jordan? There we go. And those ones cost 170. Okay, so it's, yeah, so that's, yeah, it's like 170, 220, them like the two price range and stuff. But yeah, well, Off-White though, that was the retail price. What's the retail price for the Off-White Jordans? So for those Jordan 5s, and I have like, I had got the pair of those Fresh Prince of Bel-Air 5s, and those was like 200 and something. So they're 225 retail, but yeah, people are trying to resell them for like all that much. And I'm like, y'all ain't adding nothing to the shoe or doing nothing. I think I spoke on that before. So my question is, why am I spending when if literally I can go to like a Air Jordan store or a Nike store if they're selling the shoe? What would make it different from me buying the shoe from you or buying the shoe from the Nike store? Because my thing is like, if I see the shoe in the Nike store versus seeing it on a reselling site, and a reselling site, y'all gonna charge like several $100s for it, if not thousands of dollars for it. And with those, how much did those Off-White Air Jordan 1s cost? Hold on for a second, because I'm curious on that. So I should just look it up the easier. Yeah, we just gonna look it up the easier way. Air Jordan Off-White, apply. So for those blue ones, retail, they're 190. So my question is that if them shoes cost 190 and you're selling them shoes for $1,900, why am I spending so much when the shoes are 190? You ain't adding nothing to the shoe. You ain't keeping the maintenance. I mean, what? You're like, yeah, you're keeping them off up in a box. That's it. And you just letting them sit. So my thing is like, you obviously don't care for them shoes. My thing is that what have you added to that shoe to where it's going to be costing $1,000? Are they self-lacing? Do they have a music player in it? So I'm saying, like, like, is there an iPhone at the bottom of the shoe so I can seriously flip the shoe over, make a phone call? Like, is it a cell phone shoe? What is being added to that shoe to where it's costing that much money? Because my thing is, like, if you, let's say there's a house, right? You get a house. That house is like $100,000. Of course, when you add new paint to it, new floors, windows, you add all these new things to it, of course the value of the house is going to go up because there's all of these new things that's into it. So my question is, once again, You have added nothing to this shoe. So why is it costing over $1,000 when this is $190 shoe? That's why I am so against. If it's like around the price, like maybe if it's like $10, $20 extra, okay, cool. I'm not tripping off of that. But if it's like a whole $1,000 to $4,000, $5,000 more in these shoes, because they even did that with the Air. Kanye West came out with some shoes for Nike a while ago, and hold on for a second. So he came out with these. There's these Nike shoes that he released called Nike Air Yeezy 2, the Red Octobers. Them shoes had cost $250. Dang, that's more than some phone posits. That's like $20 more than some phone posits. So with phone posits, I remember Nike came out with a whole story on why the phone posits are so expensive, because phone posits, they cost like $230. But they came out like, so they did this video like showing like how the shoe is made, and they was all like to like mold the shoe. It's like several hundred thousands of dollars. So that's why them shoes are expensive, because they're doing some stuff behind it. But my question to you, Billy in Kentucky, wherever you are, you have some Air Jordan 1s off-white. Them shoes is $190. Why is it costing so much when I buy it from you? What have you done to that shoe? Because I'm saying, if it's like those self-lacing shoes that Nike came out with, and you added that to it, then I'm like, okay, so that's why, because you went through all of this hard work to make the shoe even better. But if it's literally the same shoe that was costing $190 whenever it was released to the public, there ain't no difference. And that's why I'm like, I will never ever buy that. I wouldn't go that above and beyond for some shoes. That's why I'm like, yo, like Nike, like hit your boy up so I can like y'all got them shoes like off up in your guys' store, and I can buy it in your guys' store. Like pay actual retail value rather than spending $1,000 on some shoes. And I'm like, bruh, like at that point, nah, I'm wearing them shoes every single day. Around the house, outside, I am getting married in those shoes if I am wearing them shoes, alright? So, that's just how I feel. But anyways, that is all for it today, sneaker related. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Once again, this is promoting my sneaker related channel, Sneakers in Sight. Yeah, I just talk all things shoes. I just recently started talking about like clothes on there too. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be comparing shoes, clothes, anything that you can wear and stuff. So, anyways, so SeatGeek promo TMossBoss, it'll knock $20 off of anything you purchase on SeatGeek. And then for CeeLo promo, TMossBoss, it'll knock 10% off of anything you purchase off of that website. I have an ad video on YouTube, shows you some of the gear, and also there's a referral link in that ad video, and in the description of all my recent videos on my main channel and my gaming channel. So, and that being said, click on that link, takes you to that website. But yeah, anyways, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.